Here's my problem.
Yeah.
Girl bosses.
The GBs.
Yeah, GBs. We all hate them, right? What is a girl boss anyway? Just walks in like John Wayne, swinging her dick around. Never had to think
Got a lot of talk about women with dicks this episode, I gotta say.
I read YAIRA today. You read
YAIRA, wow.
It's dog shit.
I've
Saska
read,
sisters can't write for shit.
They really can't?
They can't write. No concept of falling action, rising action, falling action, suspense, motivation.
I've realized that, because I remember when I first heard that he hired the Saska sisters, I said, a bunch of liberal douchebags. They could probably write.
Turns out, no. Good. They could just piss in each
other's mouths. I realized that, first of all, horror is the most easy entry-level genre for anyone. Because you just go in, you put a bunch of blood on shit, and you fuck around, and people go, yeah, that's fine. That's a horror movie.
What's the motivation? Blah, a bunch of blood.
Right.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And also, they're not people who had to prove themselves with good writing. All they had to do was have a gimmick.
Be lesbians.
Well, they have a gimmick. It's what
lesbians.
If there was two spooky witch ladies?
I don't even think they're twins, honestly. Look at them.
Yeah.
One looks like a monster movie. Right?
Yeah.
You know the one.
I know.
One looks like stretched out Beetlejuice when they're stretching out their face.
One of them's, very hocus pocus,
no
if you've
offense.
seen that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of them was a little more witchy. So reading this, I went, wow, this is the most unnatural, just terrible dialogue.
Girl boss shit. Right? I'm coming in. I'm going to fight anybody in this town. It's just a series of swaggering in. Let's go. Let's fucking fight. And then fighting.
I was ready to have
and
principles.
And then quipping your way out of it.
I was
like
ready.
Tango and Cash, but not any good.
No. I was going to take a principled stand. If it was good, I was going to go, well, that's good. And then people would go, oh, see, Vito is a very fair and balanced reviewer. But now I have to go, oh, no, it's just shit. I'm sorry. And everyone's going to go, oh, see, he's just biased against the Rippaverse. I wanted one where I could go, no, that one's pretty good. But I still don't have it.
You're so eager to betray.
Betray who?
Me.
It's possible to make a good comic. It's very possible. It's not like an impossibility to make a good comic.
It's not possible for Eric July to make a good comic.
He didn't even really make it. He just paid some ladies to make it.
He hired everyone.
Yeah.
He assembled a team of seemingly competent people and hired them for the wrong thing.
Well, you know the Saskas are the
total retard.
You know,
jamming a square peg in the triangle hole, a round peg in the dad hole.
You know, the Saskas are the keepers of the lore for the Rippaverse, so they're like the overseeing architects of the entire genre.
Well, YAIRA sucks. It's a bunch of explosions happening like Michael Bay in South Park.
Yeah.
Talking about a movie where no one has any reason to do anything and there's no explanation for anything.
It was a really hard read. And
all their names are... It's like what a black person thinks Norwegian people name people.
Well, there was Yanessa, which is just Vanessa with a Y.
Like imagine Anne Fernie coming up with already we got like Yerbadabadur, but the Swedish Bergen. What's your name? Like Hannes Bergen. What's your name? Hans Jochen. Like okay, now let's hear a black person do it. Oh man, it's much more goofy.
There's a thing in the black community where they'll take like an existing name and just change the first letter for some reason.
Yeah, like Famali.
Yeah.
You ever heard that one?
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Ladasha.
Lashonda.
Yeah.
A lot of Luz. Listerine.
Well, no refunds, I guess. If you paid, I can't
$35, right?
I can't believe these people are defending this girl boss shit. YAIRA kills a guy for getting catcalled.
Well, you know what? I understood. It was like a prison riot, right?
What happened to this like whole MCU thing? Everyone, these girl bosses are ruining Star Wars and all this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, buy Eric July's comic. It's got a big 7-foot-tall woman that...
She's got abs. And I was asking him, like, do you ever see Wonder Woman's abs? It's kind of unattractive on a lady.
You see her eyes, you know? Eyes and her tits.
There's a lot of the emphasis.
Maybe her thighs.
Okay, I know you say that comics need big boobs, but like they have to look like boobs. They don't look like boobs in this comic.
They look like a microwave potato.
It looks like
big potatoes.
She just stuffed
shoved into her.
Yeah, two like giant, one of those big size softballs.
They look like hamburger buns.
They look
and the bottom one, not the big ones.
Yeah.
The bottom ones that are like, wah.
They're not attractive in a way that I want to like jerk off to YAIRA. They're like, oh my god,
there's a shot of YAIRA
don't look like tits at all
in a cryogenics chamber, recuperating. And
they covered up
turned away in
the
disgust.
titties. Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
Well, for me, the biggest revelation of the biggest revelation of YAIRA, and I found this very interesting.
Yeah.
Remember we watched that trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember in the trailer, the evil lady is lying on the ground,
Stefania,
and her right arm is just like on the ground the whole time.
That's right. I remember you saying this.
And I'm like, why is she in that?
Why is she like that? It's a weird pose.
It's a very weird pose.
By the way, in the comic, this is like quintessential girl boss. In the comic, the little girl gets her superpowers, like in the X-Men intro, and Cyclops gets his powers. She's like, oh, fuck, I got my powers for the first time, right?
Eyes glow
YAIRA shows up for no reason out of nowhere and tries to kill her.
For no reason.
And then says, who are you and where did you get these powers? And then it's implied that she's a descendant of YAIRA.
Right.
Because YAIRA's like a Highlander, so she fucked a guy a long time ago, and I guess
like
she
a
has
million kids, and they're
progeny.
all, yeah.
I don't know if she's been fucking guys. In the Highlander, it's kind of cool thinking of a Connor McLeod fucking all these whores, right? And making like a progeny.
Well, they never established in Highlander the way you get your Highlander powers is someone shoots you in the leg, which is how her powers appear, and you're like, that's kind of weird. Maybe she could find like some ancient, I don't know, whatever. Sure, she gets shot in the leg, and the shock of it makes her have ice powers.
Yeah,
and then YAIRA
shows up, kills her, and then says, "Who are?" And then when the killing doesn't work,
that's a trope in like a lot of fiction where I go, look, I know it's a superhero thing, and Wolverine has to fight the Hulk, even though it's a misunderstanding. But this is clearly one of those things.
It's a little girl.
She has no reason to show up and try to kill. She says she tried to kill that girl.
Yes.
Well, you trying to knock me out?
To kill you.
No, that was a death blow.
Oh,
and I'm like,
wow.
Why do you want to kill her? For what reason? She just got her powers.
It's
maybe
your
you guys could be friends. You don't know.
It's the only person on the planet that has something in common with you.
Point is, so remember in the trailer, I was like, what are these fucking people running from? What is happening? What is the problem? It's just a girl on the ground in this weird pose.
Yeah.
And then you read the comic, and there's fucking ice shit shooting everywhere, and that girl is like has created a bunch of ice under her that she's like stuck to now.
Yeah.
And I go,
they ran out of money. You were right.
They ran out of money or time.
You were right.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that's so stupid, Vito, that you would say that.
I said that maybe footage was missing, but it wasn't that footage was missing. It's that
ran out of budget.
They originally planned to get a CGI guy to put a bunch of ice effects.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be that expensive.
Should be easy.
Yeah.
Eric probably blew all their money taking that one Saska sister out on the town.
Or he blew it all on making a documentary about his unfinished trailer that is missing special effects blatantly.
Yeah.
It seems to me that it might have been that he was launching the YAIRA campaign, and he said, I definitely need this stupid live-action trailer to kick off the campaign, and I don't care if it's unfinished. And that was a big mistake. I would have just been like, let's release it.
It's weird that the live-action trailer is like verbatim in the comic.
Well, that's kind of his thing for some reason.
His thing sucks.
His thing is that anything that appears in live action has to have appeared exactly in the comic. The dialogue is almost one for one. There was one change.
And it's still 2 weeks ago.
Still 2 weeks ago.
We still haven't gotten up to the present day. We're still because the car collision happens in the beginning.
No. The car collision happens in ISOM after 2 weeks. This is later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is later.
Well,
I think this is after ISOM.
That's because I'm so stupid. I didn't understand.
Well, it's very confusing. I can't believe that trailer was supposed to have ice shit everywhere. And
it would have been better. It would have been cooler.
It would have made way more sense. Like, remember those crowd shots where you're like, this is really empty. It's just like it's like a long shot.
It would have been more interesting too.
With nothing going on. If there was a bunch of ice on the sides and shit, it would have. I'm like, oh, you were gonna obscure that originally, but you just didn't do it.
It's pretty easy to put ice shit into. You could just draw it. Like, look, put some cellophane in like a green screen.
Bro,
look,
I've used After Effects. I'm not that good at it, but I'm pretty sure that I could just track the scene, create like this ice-looking thing in 3D space. It would look like dog shit, but at least it would be there. And I'm not good at After Effects at all.
It sucked. The writing was bad. The girl boss shit is way over the top.
Yeah.
YAIRA pulling lighters out of her asshole, talking about
blowing up an oil field.
Blowing up an oil field where it turned out ISOM's sister's husband worked on an oil field.
No, that was different. I also got confused by that.
her husband worked at on an oil field, didn't
Not
she?
that oil field though. So
That
they
doesn't
were
matter. There's
connecting.
people
Yeah.
working on the
that's
fucking
what I was
oil
saying.
field.
I was
That's
like, you
girl
might
boss
have
shit.
killed.
Oh yeah, check this out. Click, boom. Like, bitch, there was guys fucking. There was a guy in that. There's a guy in a GIF doing that shit. You know, all messy.
For a second, I thought YAIRA killed Atona's
The oil
husband.
derrick's working. I know there's guys
There's
there.
gotta be a guy
You just
there.
fucking blew it up for no reason, you dumb bitch. Because you didn't know that. Because you just think everything appears out of nowhere, magically. And that nobody has to work for anything.
Did a man make that? If so, I don't acknowledge it. It was surprisingly bad.
Bad writing by amateurs. It never should have got out of the outline stage. There's no motivation for anything. It feels totally empty and hollow because there's no ability to connect to any of the characters. The bad guys are a bug man who wants to eat YAIRA, weirdly.
Yeah, and then Zod and a lady Zod.
And some space cops that want
two
their
Zods.
that want their police work
That was another
recognized,
thing.
but they want to kill her too.
That was another thing that was not explained. Is this like a cosmic coincidence where the second that girl vomited a space laser into space, also Zod and Lady Zod were just floating outside Earth?
Have they
at
been
the exact-
staking them out?
Yeah. Where did they come from?
Like Paul Newman? What's going on
There's
here?
a lot. Okay, there's
a
a
lot that doesn't make sense.
There's a lot in the comic where you need like a scene where they're on their planet and they go, "Hey, we've sensed YAIRA's energy signature. We have to go to Earth.
We got to go."
Instead, you get one panel of them just floating in space, and you're like, "Have they been there the whole time?"
Maybe if Eric wasn't so busy trying to fuck that one Saska sister, he could have put some of this in and thought with his brain instead of his dick and put some of this good stuff in his fucking $35 90-page comic that should read like a movie, but it doesn't. Maybe if that were the case, he could do it, but he fucking can't.
It's a little too long.
90 pages?
Oh yeah, it's 90. Is it 90 pages?
Yeah.
I got
Should be a movie.
to the final third, and I was like, once the diamond monsters showed up, I'm like, I can't track this at all.
I don't know what's going on here.
You already
man.
got 3 guys you're fighting. Do they really need to manifest diamond monsters right now? Just have her fight the regular guys.
Why is she so hung up on this old husband? No, you're saying nobody fucked
All
this bitch
the
in
Viking
1,000
flashback
years?
shit. I was like, why is this occurring in the middle of a fight scene?
Why did YAIRA land on Earth out of a space fireball? Immediately fuck the first guy she sees. She's never fucked anybody before. She doesn't have no kids before.
Did you notice
At
when
her
she prayed?
age, she's thousands of years old.
Yeah.
She never fucked anybody ever.
She did pray at one point, but
To the real
Viking
God.
god or something. I don't know if that was supposed to be the Christian god.
They made it seem like it was the
It
one
looked-
true God.
Yeah.
Even though it would have been Thor.
Yeah, I was getting a little religious at a point.
Weirdly
Weirdly
like
religious.
VeggieTales religious.
Yeah, I started being like, is he starting to put Jesus in this?
Is she pranked? She's
She's praying to the one true God. I think the idea.
You're telling me her planet didn't have any gods?
It's going to be one of those things where all gods are the one God. They've just been reinterpreted in numerous ways. So we're finally getting we're finally getting our religious aspect of the Rippaverse, which is very exciting.
Women are
If you're
what
doing
they're
a complicated, messy fight scene, don't cut to Viking times.
and then back and forth.
And then back and forth. I'm already having trouble being like, okay, there's a volcano and 2 magic guys.
ice monsters.
There's a bug guy shooting little bug
and
guys.
everything's a black name for a Scandinavian, like Yainus. Yainus.
And then it cuts
Bro,
to,
that's not a Scandinavian name. Like Jörgen. Jörgen is a
Glurgen, Blurgen.
Yeah.
And then they
Yo,
cut.
her name's Yainus and Yauvis and Naumit.
And
Man.
then her husband gives her a magic sword, but then she gives her husband a different magic sword.
Girl boss shit.
It's pretty
It's
good.
just girl
stuff.
boss shit. Nothing makes sense.
Good stuff. All right. Girl boss shit. Oh, yeah, that thing. I hate that. Well, Dick, you're talking about perhaps Eric July's judgment was clouded by his intense horniness towards...
He wants that pussy.
He wants that puss.
She's cute. I'd want that pussy too.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah, the other one.
It's so mean.
It's a compliment. What are you
Yeah.
talking about mean? I'm complimenting her.
You're complimenting one of them
So?
at the expense of the other one.
So?
Yeah, they're both very strong, powerful women.
Together, yeah.
Well, it's interesting how that seems to lead perfectly into my next problem.
The GDP of Iceland. Wow, how
That's
about
where
that?
YAIRA's from.
That's where
'cause
YAIRA
she has her ice
YAIRA's
powers.
from before she fell in love with Texas.
Yeah. Tried to kill the only person who shares her powers and could be an ally.
Wasn't
for
that
no
weird?
reason. It was very
If someone
weird.
showed up with like my hair, I want to go try to kill them.
If they showed up with my exact powers, I would go, I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
It's a bit odd, isn't
not,
it?
I need to punch this bitch for no reason.
Well, I gotta go kill her. Obviously, a little kid. Whap!
Yeah, well, Yaira's, the whole book is like Yaira's like kind of supposed to be a good person. I'm like, no,
Ow.
she tried to kill that lady.
She tried to kill that lady right away. And
For
that
no
lady,
reason.
by the way,
Yeah.
her first scene, she murders a security guard.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a real problem with security guards.
Oh, yeah, wait, they did murder.
She shoots a security guard.
She did that?
Yes. Well, I thought so.
I'd have to reread it. If
She's doing a break-in and she kills a security guard.
Yeah, they have.
Stefania.
Yeah, she's a bad lady.
With the girl boss hairdo with her shaved head.
Why does Alpha Core not like Yaira? What did she do?
I don't know. They don't say.
They
Nobody who doesn't like Yaira says what she did.
We never see her do something other than
Like, you
drop
didn't-
ice on a car.
Did you kill millions of people? Okay,
Yeah.
I would understand.
I would understand. Yeah, you kind of need to set up that conflict.
Did you deny
That's
the Holocaust
just missing.
on their planet? Did you know about Israel and deny the Holocaust from
Why?
billions of light years away? Because then I would understand it.
There's like
You
some
should be put in jail.
backstory where the Alpha Core hates her, and I don't know why.
And then
Just because she has powers?
and then Solari had his shirt off
Did he?
when a conversation with her. Do you remember that part?
I remember her kissing him in space, and then the lady with the whips.
Forcibly
who was-
rape kissing
yeah.
him, not.
But the lady with the energy whips who can't fly just disappears.
She punches her in the stomach and
She punches her in the
wheezes
stomach
space.
in space, and I'm like, so she's
She's
dead?
dead. Why is she in space and her skin isn't disintegrating? She doesn't have any powers.
Why did Solari fly her into space, and how'd she get back down to Earth?
Why do you have a lady that can't fly so she's always hanging on
To the guy.
Solari's shoulder?
Why
It's
not
so
just let her
fucking
fly?
weird. Just make her fly. She looks like a monkey holding on. All right.
Give her flying boots. And then Solari throws her at Yaira without telling her.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about Yaira. It's like shockingly bad. Guys, check my Twitter. I posted my rewrite of some of the dialogue. I thought I did a pretty good job there.
The Q-tip joke was the worst part.
There's no oh wait, yeah, with the lady buying Q-tips.
Can I get a box of Q-tips? If it's $20. $20. And then it's nothing.
Well, Eric is establishing that Texas is a bad place to be right now.
But it's a libertarian utopia.
Well,
It's
in the previous book, the Alpha Core arrests a lady for doing something like a misdemeanor, and they're like, "You're getting 20 years."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's like
Judge Dredd?
yeah, there's some sort of weird Judge Dredd type thing going on where the inflation is through the roof, probably because there's trade embargoes with the rest of the United States.
Eric is retarded.
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
he's retarded because here's the problem. Here's the biggest problem with the Rippaverse that I've identified. If someone asks me what the
Because he has no dad. If I ever make something, I know my dad's going to find it eventually and make fun of me if it sucks. And
Right.
Eric July has no dad, so he has no concept of like, well, if I make this and it sucks, doesn't matter.
no one's gonna yell at me.
Was my mom going to make fun of me? I don't give a shit what my mom thinks.
That's a good point.
My dad didn't even love her.
The biggest
right?
problem with the Rippaverse is if somebody asks me what is the Rippaverse about, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
When it should be, the Rippaverse is about if Texas seceded, this would happen. But I don't know what happens because it's
Some
not
bitch with ice
explained
powers
at all.
would show up and
Yeah. What the fuck is going on in Texas?
kiss
You
a
actually
cop.
you have a hook, but you have to deliver on the second part of the hook. It's about if Texas seceded.
Then what?
And then what would happen? Well, there'd be guys
Q-tips
flying
would be
around.
$20
There'd
a
be guys
box.
flying around, and Q-tips would be $20. That's not enough. You need like a thing. If that happened, there would be a war, or there would be like
Yeah.
there would be magic powers for some reason.
There's horsemen running around.
Yeah, why are they all in Texas? Is the rest of the country not have super guys? Norfolk's in Florida somewhere.
Oh, yeah. So,
Somewhere near Florida, is that what it said? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Just tell me what
Eric
the
is
hook
just
is.
so in love with women in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
It's like reading Eric's comics is like Charles Manson's music. It's like it's a
wants to wear
song
their
here, but
skin.
there's something fucking wrong with this. You can't think YAIRA is good. You just fucking can't. Okay?
Yeah.
You're lying. It's impossible.
It's really bad.
I'm not saying there's sides, but there's just no fucking way you can say that's good.
Again,
Even as that fat wart said,
Yeah.
well, that was a fun read. On to my next gym selfie. Or I've got to go to the gymnasium and take a picture of myself sweating through my shirt.
I want to be surprised. Let's put it that way. I wanted YAIRA to be good because it would have been like,
Because
all
you want to
right.
betray everyone and show how
No,
much better you are
I want
than
this to get
everything.
interesting. I want it to be like, oh, there are some good comics on the other side. Now, what's that going to look like? I'm still like, what if Yellow Flash is
How did you think the Soska sisters would write something good? They're fucking piss sisters, horror whores.
Okay, I
They
don't
got nothing. They got no talent at all.
Some people say, I haven't read it. Some people said that their Black Widow comic was good, but I
it
didn't read
fucking
it.
sucks.
I don't know.
It's
I
got
didn't read
some
it.
pedophile that's dressed up like a clown. It's totally tonally inappropriate.
Well, I haven't read it. I don't know. I heard Eric Chalai likes it, so maybe it's good.